Alright, so I commandeered MCTY's channel again, and we're going to play Retail Tycoon. This is like supposed to be part 2, but it's more like part 1000 because the first part we did, we basically just started the store. And then second part, I have a maxed out store now, so I kind of missed a bunch of stuff in between there. Oops. MCTY kind of got bored of it, so I kept playing it because I thought it was kind of cool. It's a good tycoon game. I didn't cheat, didn't use any, or didn't buy any cash with Robux. I did it all traditional and just took my time, probably 12 hours maybe. This might be surprising, but here we go. So I'm going to claim that. Let's load up my nice store. Boom. There it is. All right, so I have upgraded everything, including the parking lot, the sign. The sign's awesome. So I got to say, when you're doing this store, one of the more important things is the sign in the parking lot. So I actually had this sign in this parking lot with easily 1/3 of what the store is right now. So, and that just brings in tons of people. If you have a huge sign, I thought the sign was totally rad, so I actually bought the sign when I had the smaller parking lot, 2 smaller parking lot sizes, and my parking lot was always completely packed, but the sign's just totally epic because it literally just fills the entire area. Boom, like that. And obviously the parking lot's good because the more cars you get, the more people are going to come shopping in your store. So what I do is, I know you can have the manager. I didn't do a manager desk because I don't really like the manager desk. Otherwise, what's the point of the game? I can just leave it automated and do nothing at all. So what I do is, I don't like cleaning up messes and I don't like busting the bad guys. So I hired a guard and I hired a janitor, and that's basically it. I stock the shelves myself, and I don't really stock them like all the time. Basically, what I do is, I wait till they get pretty empty. Like this is getting close, but I'm not going to restock them yet because it's just too time consuming. So I'm going to let it run for a while and just let the shoppers come in and they shop and they buy up some stuff and I get rich. That's how it works. So my favorite is the clothing racks. Clothing racks are totally awesome. I bet you could completely fill your entire store with clothing racks and probably make the most money. So each clothing rack holds hold on a second. Each clothing rack holds 36 items. And so now if you had a ton of the clothing racks, you wouldn't even have to make aisles. You can literally stack the clothing racks like next to each other and see how my guy kind of gets stuck. But the shoppers will walk right through the clothing rack like it's not even there. So they don't even need aisles. You could just like literally fill the entire floor with clothing racks, which would be a tremendous amount of money in clothing. Everything in this game is 50% or 100% markup, so a $20 item you can sell for $40. Same thing with clothing. So basically, if you had that many clothing racks, I mean, it would probably cost you $200,000 to stock your whole store, but you'd make $400, or you'd actually make $200 because you spent $200. So you'd end up with $400,000 after spending $200,000. So that's basically it. And what I did is I upgraded my walls after I had everything. I didn't upgrade the walls at first because I kind of thought it's a waste of money. One of the other things I did initially was I took and actually disassembled my entire building and bought shelving and inventory. So literally it was just a floor, cheap concrete floor with shelving and inventory and no ceiling. So people complain, they're like, oh man, it's drafty in this place, it just totally stinks, I can't stand it. But I just said, you know what, whatever. Shut up and buy my stuff. So that's basically what they did. They shut up and bought my stuff. And yeah, it all went uphill from there. So I do have my shelves in here. This is so I can buy a couple extra items as I'm inventorying. I didn't buy as many of these as you can. I know some people literally stock tons of these inventory shelves all over the place, but I don't really know if it's necessary. When I go to buy stuff with my storage units, I can hold 900 items. It's plenty enough. I mean, it's not like I need to hold a ton of clothing around. I don't want clothing in my inventory. I want clothing on the shelf because on the shelf it actually sells, or on the hanger, the rack. If it's on the shelves, rather, then it doesn't sell at all. I have to go inventory them, so that's not, I don't really want to do that. The other thing that's important with this game is you have to play when there's no lag, because if you play when there's a ton of lag, like these characters, see how they're kind of jolting like that? So this is mediocre, in my opinion. It's playable. You're going to probably make a decent amount of money doing that, but the reality is that you could also make tons more. So if you play in the morning, early morning, it tends to be pretty good, and the characters run around like crazy. And the faster they run around, the faster you're going to make money. So it's important to play at different times. I know that in the afternoon, evening, it's so laggy. It literally takes, the characters, they kind of move like this, and it takes them 15 minutes just to get to the back of the store. And if you're doing if you're paying workers like I am, see, I got these workers here. I got a janitor and a guard. Well, that's $50 a minute. So if these guys are walking like, molasses, like they're stuck in some kind of goo on the ground, then, you're going to spend $50 a minute, and they're not buying anything because they're taking forever to get anywhere. So, so that's basically one thing you should keep in mind. If you're going to hire workers, make sure the people are moving faster. Otherwise, you're wasting money. And you probably should buy 2 janitors because these shoppers are so messy. They're spilling sodas like everywhere. Some shopper will be walking down. They'll be like, "Oh, this place is so clean," and then they spill a stupid soda on the ground. You're like, "What? It's clean until you showed up." The guard, this is probably enough. This guard, I haven't had very many problems with the bad guys. The guard catches most of them, but I also like to play the game, so I kind of wander around and I, torment some of my neighbors. Maybe share some advice even if they didn't ask for it. Be like, "Hey, you should do it like my store because my store is awesome." Not really, but it's pretty good. So that's basically it. Walk in, got the full height ceiling. That's the when you build the walls, you just have to make sure you say 22 studs, and it adds $100 to each one of these, so it gets pretty expensive. And then I did all skylight because if you do all skylight, you can switch to, let's see, upgrade lots. Check that out. Now you can see like the whole store as it goes along. See where the people are walking. What? What is that? Okay, so I thought I was done. Apparently, I messed something up here. Oh well, it is what it is. I'll put those in there in a second here. Let's see, 6 build, skylight. Where was that? It was on this side. Oh, see the bad guy? I just walked right past him. I was like, whatever, dude. All right, let's do this. Whoop. Oh, see, that height is not the right height. So let's go back to build. I need the 20 studs height. Bam. Yes, $300. $300. Okay, so now I got it. Upgrade, buy more land. See, full plot. And if you have this, the ceiling that you can see through the glass skylights all over, you can kind of see the whole store how it's laid out. It's kind of cool. So that's basically it. I think it's pretty much mastered the game. I mean, I guess I could redesign it and look like some of these cool malls I've seen. Some people show up with these really awesome designs where they spend a good amount of time, just making it look cosmetically pretty. And I didn't really spend a ton of time with that. I do like the electronics, which is why I stuck it in the front because they kind of look cool. So I have a 5.0 rating. Forgot to mention that. And I think that's probably because I just have like plants all over the place. So I think if you have enough plants, it doesn't even matter. Like if there's spills, like these spills mean nothing. It doesn't even matter. If you go to data down here when you're under manage, you can see your store rating and you can see what you're getting. So crowdedness, I'm doing pretty good. Decoration, look, I only have 1 star for decoration, so maybe that's not it. Line sizes. So I don't have any checkout counters. I use all self-checkouts. That way I don't have to hire anybody. Plus, these only use 1 block, whereas those other ones use 2 blocks. So this is a way better idea. Yes, it's a little bit slower, but so what? Just stick them all over the place. Not a big deal. All right, let's go back to data here real quick. All right, so you can see store size. I don't know why I only get 1 star. I mean, it's as big as you can get it. Cleanliness, I'm getting minus, a little tiny tick, which doesn't mean anything. So I'm at 5 stars, I think, almost the entire time I'm playing, even with messes. So that's basically it. That's my store. Come check it out sometime when we're online. Convince maybe MCTY to go play it too because he just hasn't done it in a while. And hope you enjoyed. Lates.